Japanimation Station.
Hello and welcome to Japanimation Station, an anime podcast brought to you by the folks at the Weekly Stuff Podcast. I'm Sean Chapman.
And I'm Jonathan Lack.
And we are here to give you a little preview of Season 3 because we have our third season coming up, and it is hot and it is heavy. Jonathan, what are we covering in Season 3 of Japanimation Station?
Season 3 of Japanimation Station is the classic adventures of Lupin III, one of the most celebrated and beloved and long-running characters in anime history, and we are doing an 8-episode season covering his adventures over about a 30-year period from the early 70s to the early 2000s, and this season, if you had not heard already, is premiering July 4th, Independence Day here in America, because nothing says independence from the British like a Japanese thief who is the grandson of a French thief stealing stuff all over the world. But we are premiering July 4th, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. It'll air just like last season, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central on YouTube live. Well, we already recorded it, but there will be a premiere that is live, and then it will go a couple hours later at 12 a.m. Central Wednesday to all podcast platforms, and it'll be out there for you, free on all your platforms. This season is running 8 episodes. We've already recorded most of it. I am so happy with it. This is such a good season. I'm so excited for you guys to hear it.
Yeah, it is a fun season because, neither of us had seen everything that we were watching ahead of time. You had more experience with Lupin than me, so you took point on all the research stuff, which is fun for this season. And this is the first time for me watching anything Lupin related. So if you are a Lupin newbie like me, you can follow along with that whole journey and start with part 1 and going through to the early 2000s stuff. And yeah, Lupin is amazing. I think it is fun for the show. The season's fun because it's a very different kind of topic than we've normally done, whether on Japanimation Station or Weekly Stuff, because it's a very episodic format. So that's one of the fun things about the season is looking at a very different kind of show and also looking at the history of anime, because the history of anime is the history of Lupin in many ways, because it is going through multiple decades. And seeing the evolution stylistically as you go from what is effectively the 60s style, it's early 70s, all the way through to the somewhat awkward dawn of digital animation, and everything in between. It's a very good season, and it's a great journey to go on.
Absolutely. So for today's little preview episode, we just want to tell you what all we will be covering and where you can find it. So if you want to follow along over the next month before we premiere, you can start watching some of this stuff. So I've done some research and found it all. A couple of notes I want to make. One, if you are following along this season and you don't have any of this Lupin stuff yet, and you don't want to go buy Blu-ray sets, and you don't want to pirate anything, I would strongly recommend getting a High Dive subscription. Mm-hmm. That is a service that I don't think you or me have ever used much, but I looked into it because it has a lot of Lupin stuff, and I was checking it out before recording this preview. It's $5 a month. This is not an ad, it's just because it has all the Lupin stuff. It has all of the Lupin TV shows, and it has them in vastly better quality than Crunchyroll does. Crunchyroll has some of this stuff, but generally in pretty low quality. High Dive has it in whatever the best quality is, the Blu-rays, the DVDs, and it has it in Japanese and English when there is an English dub. So that's going to be your best option for Lupin specifically, and if you enjoy what you see, they do then have all of the modern Part 4, 5, 6 shows, and you can follow along with that. So I just wanted to mention that. They don't have everything. They don't have the specials that we talked about near the end of the season, but for the TV shows specifically, that is a good thing just to know that that is out there as an option. And as a second note, we are not specifically reviewing any of the original Monkey Punch manga, but if you want to get a good sample of the manga in English, I would pick up, there's a recent volume that came out called Lupin III Greatest Heists, and it is from 7 Seas. You can get it physical or on Kindle. The Kindle version, like the scans, don't look very good. I don't know what it is, but the book looks great, and it's a nice big physical hardcover that's pretty cheap. It's got a good cross-section of chapters, including a few that get adapted in episodes that we watch. So it is a fun volume to pick up, and there's a second volume of that coming out in July as well. Not out at the time of this recording yet. But yeah, just a couple of notes before we tell you what is in each of the episodes.
Yeah, and then for a lot of these, we watched a lot of these on Blu-ray with Discotek and those. If people want to buy stuff, I'm sure you'll note it, Jonathan, as we get through. But those, Discotek is always great. Their Lupin stuff is particularly good because there's, it's very historically significant. So there's lots of great research and stuff that goes into those Blu-rays if people like fun extras.
I have bought a disgusting amount of Discotek Blu-rays over the last couple of months because of the Lupin adventure, but it's all great. They do a wonderful job with their releases, so yes. So our first episode this season will be The Green Jacket Adventures, Lupin III Part 1, the original anime from 1971. We are watching all 23 episodes of that. That is, as you just said, Sean, there's a Discotek Blu-ray, which is probably their maybe best overall release because it's just got a lot of good extras, and that show looks amazing in the new scans that it has. So you can get that. It is also streaming on High Dive in that Blu-ray quality with Discotek subtitles. Great version of it over there with the new English dub as well. And then it is on Crunchyroll, Japanese only, but in sort of the older DVD quality. You can find that there. We are also talking about the original Lupin pilot film from 1969. That is not on the Discotek Blu-ray, I think for some kind of rights issues, and it's not on High Dive. It is on the old Discotek DVD set, but I would just recommend go sail the high seas. You can find this. There are Blu-ray quality restorations of the pilot film, and it looks amazing, so I would recommend seeking that out as well.
Yes, yeah. The pilot film it's like, it's not essential viewing, but it is very fascinating to see the way it gets picked apart and reused throughout the show. So it's definitely worth watching.
Yep. The second episode, we're going to do Lupin's first movie, The Mystery of Mamo from 1978, movie number 1. Discotek has a Blu-ray with, I think, 9 audio tracks because this movie has a shit ton of dubs and everything. Really great. I would, if you only get 1 or 2 Blu-rays, that would be one to get. It's really good, and it is hard to find elsewhere. The only place where it is like streaming is you can rent or buy it on Amazon Prime Video, but only with the English dub, but I don't know which English dub because I didn't want to pay to find out, but there are 4 for this movie. I would just go for the Blu-ray.
Yes, yeah, I'm with you. If there is one Blu-ray you buy, I would buy Mamo because it's a movie, so it's not it's not very expensive, but it is a gorgeous movie. It is my personal favorite of Lupin movies. Probably most people would go Cagliostro. I really like Mamo, so I would say if you want to buy at least one Blu-ray, get the Mamo one.
All right, and then we are doing for the third episode, The Red Jacket Adventures, Lupin III Part 2. This is Lupin's longest-lasting TV series. It ran for 155 episodes. So we are doing a selection of 27 episodes from Part 2. We'll tell you what those are in just a second. Discotek does have DVD sets of all of these. This show has never been remastered for high definition, but the DVD masters look great, and High Dive also has those DVD masters with Discotek's subtitles. Really good version. The numbering is all correct on High Dive. Crunchyroll has slightly older masters and slightly older subtitles, and then their numbering is also off for the first 26 episodes. So if you're going Crunchyroll, just know that you're going to have to go by title, not by number for those early ones. But if you've got the DVDs or High Dive, you are good to go. Sean, let's run through these, and I will give them the original Japanese title, and you will give us the pun-tastic English title, because these are presented with different titles around the internet.
Okay.
All right, episode 1, Lupin III's Gallant Appearance.
Also known as The Return of Lupin III.
Number 12, A Gift for the President.
Also known as The Slight Before Christmas. The Slight spelled with like sleigh.
Yeah. Number 13, The Great Chase in San Francisco.
Also known as I Left My Mind in San Francisco.
Number 20, Cornered Lupin.
Also known as Hell Toupee, but like toupee, like a hairpiece.
Number 21, Goemon's Revenge.
Also known as The Last Mastery.
Number 25, Encounter with the Deadly Iron Lizard.
Also known as The Lair of the Land Shark.
Number 26, A Rose and a Pistol.
Also known as Shot Through the Heart.
Number 27, Where Did the Cinderella Stamp Go?
Also known as The Little Princess of Darkness.
Number 30, The Wind in Morocco is Hot.
Also known as Morocco Horror Picture Show.
These are really good.
Yes.
Number 32, Lupin Dies Twice.
Also known as Lupin the Interred.
Like Lupin the Third? Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Number 34, Lupin Who Turned into a Vampire.
Also known as But Your Brother Was Such a Nice Guy. And you gotta watch that episode to understand why that title is the best title in the history of titles.
Number 36, Uncover the Secret of Tsukikage Castle.
Also known as The Riddle of Tsukikage Castle.
Number 38, The Sweet Trap of ICPO.
Also known as Happy Betrayals to You.
Number 48, Lupin Laughs at the Alarm Bell.
Also known as Vault Assault.
Number 57, Computer or Lupin.
Also known as Alter Ego Maniac.
Number 58, The Face of Goodbye at the National Border.
Also known as Gettin' Jigen with It.
Number 66, Order, Shoot to Kill.
Also known as Beauty and the Deceased.
Number 69, The Woman Pops Fell in Love With.
Also known as Zenigata Get You Into My Life.
And at this point, they do not have unique English titles, so I will just go through these faster. 85 is the ICPO's Secret Plan. Number 94 is Lupin versus Superman. Number 97, Find Lupin the First's Treasure. Number 99, The Scattered Magnum. Number 112, Goemon's Close Call. Number 114, The Secret of the First Supper. Number 129, In Jigen, I Saw the Gentleness of a Man's Soul. Number 148, The Target is 555 meters. And number 151, The Arrest Lupin Highway Operation. So there you go. Those are all the episodes you need to watch for part 2. There's a lot of fun stuff in there.
Yes, and I do regret that the puntastic English titles didn't continue through the whole run of that show.
Yes. Episode 4 of this season is When Lupin III Met Hayao Miyazaki, where we will be talking about the 1979 film The Castle of Cagliostro. You might have heard of it. And 2 episodes from part 2, episodes 145 and 155, which are the 2 Miyazaki came and directed and storyboarded himself and are the most famous episodes of that show around the world. Cagliostro is on Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray from Discotek. I would recommend the standard Blu-ray if you can get it, because it is a better master. The 4K, which this is not Discotek's fault, this is whoever holds the rights in Japan. It has some strengths, but it was aggressively DNR'd, digital noise reduction, in its remaster, and so it removed a lot of grain and detail. That disc has a couple of nice additional extras, but overall, the original Blu-ray is the better master. And then you can also rent or buy this movie on any digital platform of your choice, Amazon, Apple, YouTube, Vudu, etc. And for the part 2 episodes, same options as before.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think people have a hard time figuring out how to watch The Castle of Cagliostro. This is some obscure, having to sail the high seas to find the 12-minute pilot film.
Yes.
This is a pretty famous movie.
Number 5, our 5th episode, is The Pink Jacket Adventures, where we will talk about Lupin III Part 3. That's a 50-episode show, so we're not going to do all of it. We're doing 20 episodes from that run, and that show is available on Blu-ray from Discotek, and it's a very good Blu-ray set, again, from the fine people at Discotek. Also, High Dive has these episodes in that Blu-ray quality with Discotek subtitles complete and uncut, and this is important to note because Crunchyroll does have Part 3, but it is in really poor quality from older DVD masters, and they are missing the next episode previews, which are often a lot of fun. But High Dive does have the full uncut versions. So, Sean, why don't we go ahead and alternate and tell the people about these 20 episodes. Episode 1, The Gold is Beckoning Lupin.
Episode 3, Greeting to Hell's Angel.
Number 7, The Man Called Death Gerv.
Number 11, The Ruby Sheds Bloody Tears.
Number 13, Variations on Getting Carried Away.
Number 18, Showtime Reeks of Death.
Number 23, Operation Beirut Mobile Bank Robbery.
24, Sleep Peacefully, Friend.
Number 27, Codename, Star of Alaska.
And 28, The Star of Alaska is a one-way ticket to hell.
That's a two-parter. Number 30, A Cocktail Named Revenge.
Number 31, A Turnabout, a comeback, and a reversal.
Number 34, Manhattan Crisis.
Number 37, Pops boils over with rage.
Number 38, Letitia, Who Loved Lupin.
She sure did. Episode 40, A Lotto Ticket to Riot.
Number 44, Our Papa's a Thief.
Number 46, Soaring on Scrap Wings.
Number 49, The Day Pops Got Adopted.
And number 50, Orders to destroy the atomic sub Ivanov.
And we will also be watching the third movie, The Legend of the Gold of Babylon, which is the Pink Jacket era film. We will be watching it for that episode. Discotek has a Blu-ray of that film as well. That movie is also streaming for free on a couple of fast platforms like Amazon's Freevee, Tubi, and the Roku channel, but it is only with the English dub, which is a pretty new and good dub. But if you want to see it with the original Japanese, you will have to get the Blu-ray or sail the high seas for that one.
Yes.
And a lot of these later ones are on various like Fast and AVOD platforms, so we'll talk about that in a second. But episode 6, we are doing a set of films and specials from the 80s and 90s that see Lupin III in transition. The first of those is the movie The Fuma Conspiracy from 1987. There is no DVD or Blu-ray for this one. There was a Discotek disc way back when, but it's way the fuck out of print. A fan group, Carvioso plus Jet Force, did put out a very good torrent release of this movie, collecting all the Discotek material plus a bunch of other good stuff, best video master available, and I would just Google Carvioso, Jet Force, Fuma Conspiracy. You will find that, and you should give it a download because it's not available otherwise. Then we were talking about Bye Bye Lady Liberty from 1989, the first TV special. Discotek has a really great Blu-ray of this one, and it is also streaming in Japanese with subtitles for free on Amazon's Freevee service. As you'll see, Sean, it's a complete crapshoot whether they have the Japanese or English for all of these. It's very funny to me. They never have both. The third one for that episode is Voyage to Danger. In Japanese, it's called Orders to Assassinate Lupin from 1993, the fifth special. Discotek, once again, has a Blu-ray and DVD of this, and it is streaming in Japanese with subtitles for free on Amazon's Freevee, as well as Tubi and Pluto TV. And then we are doing Farewell to Nostradamus, or as it would more accurately be called, Get Fucked, Nostradamus, from 1995.
Yeah, if only somebody like really appropriately translated the title of that film.
Yeah, it'd be nice. But that is from 1995. Discotek has a Blu-ray of that one, but there are no streaming options that I am aware of anywhere. And then for our seventh episode, we are doing 4 more films and specials from the 90s and aughts. We are doing Dead or Alive from 1996. That is the 6th film. Discotek has a Blu-ray. There are no streaming options I'm aware of. Then we are doing the 1997 special Island of Assassins, also known as Walther P38. Discotek had a Blu-ray that is way the hell out of print. It is streaming for free in English on Tubi, and it is available to rent or buy in English on Amazon Prime Video, but not in Japanese, so you're probably going to have to sail the high seas for that one. Then we've got Tokyo Crisis from 1998. Discotek has a Blu-ray. It is streaming for free in English on Tubi, and it is available to rent or buy in English on Amazon Prime Video. But once again, if you don't want to buy the Blu-ray and you don't want to watch it in English, you might have to find something else for that.
That one in particular, you want the Japanese because the 2 guest stars of that also are particularly good. If you like 90s voice actors in Japanese, you want that one in Japanese for sure.
Absolutely. And finally, we are doing Episode 0, The First Contact, the special from 2002. Discotek has a Blu-ray and a DVD, and it is streaming free in Japanese with subtitles on Tubi. So there you go. What a weird collection of platforms I just named.
Yes, it is definitely, that's proper anime, man. Like a real anime, you should have to go to 7 different sources to try to watch everything you want to watch in that series. That's how you know it's a good one.
And then for the 8th and final episode of the season, we are going to do a couple of fun different things, but one of those is we will be watching the 1974 live-action Lupin film, Strange Psychokinetic Strategy. It had a DVD from Discotek years ago that is way the heck out of print, but you can sail the high seas to find a rip of that DVD pretty easily if you want good subtitles and everything. We're going to do a couple other little fun things on that one, but in terms of what your anime homework is, Well, there is none because that's not an anime, but, anime adjacent homework. There you go. I think we've done our job here, Sean. That is going to be season 3 of Japanimation Station.
Yes, and what a season it is. The only episode we have yet to record is the one with the live-action movie, which I'm extremely excited for. But everything else we've recorded already, I think they're great podcasts, and it is a great... I was going to say great show. It's a great series, it's because it's got a bunch of different TV shows, it's got a bunch of movies, a bunch of TV specials, and it is well worth going on the journey. So I hope that people are excited as well. And I hope at the end of this, if you're someone who has not yet watched Lupin, you will be like me and you kind of can't wait to go back and watch all the stuff that we skipped over. Because luckily, by the end of this season, in many ways, we only have scratched the surface of the adventures of Lupin III.
So, season 3 premiering July 4th, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Wednesdays at 12 a.m. Central on all podcast platforms. Subscribe at JapanImationStation.com. We will see you there.
Same Lupin time. Same Lupin channel.
Japanimation Station.